Hi guys, you got lucky. My Twitch is still working, and so I decided to fire it up. And you're just in time because I managed to work my little ass off, and I wrote me some more and got some stuff out. And so tonight, this evening, whatever, it's 2:32 this afternoon. You're gonna get a special last gasp Dragonlance stream as far as this is concerned for a while. Because I don't know when they're going to take the ability to do the Twitch thing. But we're going to do like we ain't going to stream before. So we're going to stream when we can stream. Okay? So, I'm kind of mush mouth. I know I've been working all day. Just now building up this point, y'all. I'm just like, okay. Got some shit for you tonight. Okay? All right. Watch this. Here we go. All right. Alright, bear with me just a second here, guys.
Child huddled between the legs of a Magda looked sadly into the firelight at the small child huddled between the legs of a statuesque Sithicus elf. It was there as it had always been, stuck to live and die in the same cycle due to some dark power keeping it there as a memory, a shade. She had seen it live and die many times since she'd been here. She wasn't sure the Sithicus elf knew that, as it had probably mistaken it for a refugee, as often the clueless do that wandered into the mists of Ravenloft. She knew they would all be tortured in some way, losing their sight and sanity to wander off blindly into the fog. Strahd, why can't you leave them alone? She thought. Afford them the dignity to die on their own worlds. You've known the way out, Strahd. The question is, do you want to leave? Were you to enter the prime material again, you will age and die with time and memory. Barovia must have a master. Sithicus must have a master. Across the creek a few yards away she caught a flash of something in the trees and forced herself to focus. Sure enough, she now knew why the Sithicus elf was so terrified even after being told the borders of Barovia were safe from the nonsense of Sithicus. A Sithicus elf could detect when an undead was near. Ticklemop Toothfang, what a hideous mockery Soth had named her right after he'd killed her former incarnation. Poor Ticklemop, whose life was before the cataclysm. Ticklemop wasn't supposed to be able to leave Sithicus. The Kendralin vampires had long been driven off, but nevertheless she caught glimpses of the overwrinkled demon in the shadows licking her chops from high above in the canopy. Dark Lord! A raven cawed off in the distance, and Magda looked smugly at her Vistani wagon, knowing full well the ravens not dare fly near her campsite. It would buy the other two Kender enough time to complete their contact with Fizban, but surely it would bring Soth's minions back to the border just like they'd been here a few months earlier in the grove of Shimmerweed near the cave. She winced as she heard an abrupt clip-clopping of heavy hooves come echoing down the path and across the water, not stopping until it swayed right in front of her. Magda looked toward the Vistani wagon, but casually pretended not to be alerted. After all, she was a Kender apparently, so it would not be very Kender-like to run from new arrivals. DM's note *, this version of Aunt Magda resembles an old Vistani witch, but this time she's an elderly Kender. This particular Vistani, known in other sources as Magda the Wanderer, has assumed the form of a Kendermam. Kendermam is the colloquial term usually applied to a elderly female Kender who has survived wanderlust and returned to old age, a matriarch. These particular Kender are valued in their society for teaching other young Kenders what they need to know, as their information and stories are very valuable to a young Kender mind. The Vistani are the only race that can travel between worlds. Technically Magda isn't human, elf, or Kender so much as Savistan. They are the closest thing a lycanthrope can come to within the limit of Krynn's lunar cycle and not be irrecoverably damaged or portaled out. Another case in point, Krynn technically has no conventional lycanthropes, magical items or potions being an exception. The configuration of Krynn's moons make it illogically impossible for the process of lycanthropy to exert itself on this prime material world. The mere shape-changing ability of a lycanthrope is actually the phasing of one physical paradigm form to another within its own plane of existence. Think it exists in a different form in another paradigm. Think Link to the Past light and dark world, the phasing between time frames or paradigms of reality to which Black Robe Raistlin also uses to travel paradigms. Krynn's moon alignment prevents traditional lycanthropy but at the same time also enables both quantum phasing or leaping and manipulation of time within its own crystal sphere. You have to remember that Krynn's entire sphere is closed off from other worlds, with the exception of those allowed within it. You can't travel from Krynn space to an outside galaxy. Planes of existence are another matter, true spelljamming ships from within Krynn's relative planet and galaxy alignment are not uncommon, but most of them stay well out of reach of the average person on Krynn. They don't visit often. Magda turned back to the firelight pretending to beat a tambourine and sing a ballad in spite of the recent arrival. Baby child, quit your squall, in the night Lord comes a-calling, he'll hear you. And he'll steal you, down to the devil's strahd be sold. The heavy hoof stamped and clopped to the edge of the firelight but wouldn't cross within its bounds. Magda! A growling surly voice from across the firelight. Come on now Magda, why ye got to make me heartache so with ye damnable yarbling making me homesick? The sharp thud of the dwarf's axe at the edge of the circle of stones round the fire pit making it crack and spark. The fire in the pit flares to reveal a now severely burned and aggravated Azrael, who despite his face looking half skull and one eye glaring bare in its socket, still walks around as if nothing is wrong. He's pissed and annoyed he's undead, and even if Raistlin stabbed him with a phylactery, he intends to get his yoke back. The nightmare didn't dare come within the edge of the firelight, but Azrael the Dwarf himself had no problem strolling right up to the fire, casting a glance at Ticklemop lurking up in the trees in the dark somewhere, her yellow beady little points winking when she blinked or turned her head. The dwarf noticed the mockery of the Kender attempting to hang on the branch as if preoccupied with playing, but at the same time was a deadly vicious little vermin, waiting to pounce. You Kender taking the old songs and singing them so like that? Azrael lit his pipe and sneered while he blew the smoke out. The smoke curled to form a dragon around his head once again before disappearing back into his lungs when he re-inhaled with a sneer and let it out. The necromantic powers of Ravenloft had allowed part of his face to grow back after Raistlin had fried him during their first encounter. A gaping hole can still be seen in Azrael's chest where the phylactery took his yoke out, but due to the fact he's undead and his yoke is still within the boundary of the realm of dread, Azrael if he collects his yoke back from them, he's gonna be pissed because the phylactery is literally indestructible. He will have to carry it physically around with him, and nothing less than a deity can put the yoke back in his body. If he or the yoke leaves the realm of dread, his corporeal and physical form will be destroyed. Where is he, Magda? I bet he's hiding in that caravan there with the wee Kender lass, just a. Azrael's anger was such that he suddenly lost his temper and bellowed out. That your cousin, is she? Barefoot, ye inbred little shite. Get your slimy ass out here. They aren't afraid of you, Azrael, and soon we will be free of Sithicus and you. Magda absently began beating the tambourine again, to mock Azrael, but also to indicate to those inside her caravan someone had arrived. She could keep away the undead from outside, but only for so long. Shut it, witch! Barefoot! Get your peeking skinny ass rot shite bastard of a pricked weasel ass birthed of a rotten son of a whore. Get out here! Now, Barefoot! You prickless little shite. I'll carve ye, your little Kender ass is mine. He stopped suddenly and eyed the Sithicus elf huddling in the firelight with the child. Now, he sneered. Don't ye know that my Lord Soth has placed a bounty on Sithicus elves? Azrael leered across the firelight, his black eyes gleaming. Magda, we can do this the easy way. Azrael sneered again. But I'd just as well let Ticklemop show these newly arrived travelers what happens when they go messing in me new lord's businesses. Azrael started giggling as up in the trees and within the surrounding foliage a few more tiny sets of blinking yellow eyes accompanied by guttural giggling and snarling could be heard. The terrified Sithicus elf huddled in the firelight as the child next to her also looked into the fire with empty sullen eyes. Down to the devil's strahd ye be sold. Magda kept singing as the encroaching growling and cackling of the Kendralin vampires began to intensify. They weren't supposed to be able to leave the borders of Sithicus, but now there were dozens of them here now. DM's note: after Strahd makes his bargain with Ticklemop and learns about Kitiara, Ticklemop takes the amulet and escapes back to Kendralind. In doing this and under Strahd's thrall, the other Kender vampires in Kendralind run amok, killing anything that crossed their path. One of their first victims being the unfortunate half-orc villain from Kendamore, Denzel, after stumbling out of the pocket dimension of candy houses and a beast Kender. Denzel and a fat, unfortunate Kender he escaped with covered in cake icing, ended up being a tasty snack for the newly thralled Kendralind vampires. Inside the caravan, Tasslehoff and Astrid turned their attention away from the Vistani crystal, enabling them to talk to Fizban as Azrael the Dwarf's bellowing rudely interrupted them. "That stupid Azrael is back." Astrid huffed and resumed petting a peevish puss. The Siamese cat began purring louder as Azrael's voice rose, and the Kendermaid petted the cat's fur and scratched her ears. The feline's purring began to echo, and the candles around the Vistani seer crystal began to flare. "Fear not, the undead will not touch us. According to what Liaison told me of undead and felines, they guard the gates to the underworld." Astrid looked up as the wagon shook with the accentuated growling from outside. Astrid checked her satchel for the phylactery as if on cue. As soon as she took it out of the satchel, it stuck itself to the inner wall of the caravan. She wrenched it away and stuck it back in the holy cloth. The cloth sparked and spat as she tucked it back into the satchel. "We've got his yoke now. Not sure how he's up walking around, but if he wants it back, he better behave." Tasslehoff turned back to the Vistani crystal. He focused his eyes and waved his hands like he'd seen Raistlin and Laranna do with the dragon orb. He didn't know if it worked, but it was the effect and effort put into it that counted. After a few seconds he saw Fizban come back into view, peering at him rather impatiently. "Where did you go, Burrhead? Don't walk away from your elders when they're talking." Fizban blustered and waved his hands within the tiny sphere. Tars couldn't help but stifle a giggle as Fizban's shape stretched out like a big piece of spaghetti and then snapped back in place a few times. His nose bulged out and got bigger in the glass, and Tars almost swore he looked up Fizban's nostrils and saw literally the entirety of Krynn space and its galaxies up Fizban's nose. He opened his mouth. There it was again, a tiny flick of light. "I'm right here, Fizban, sorry." Tars turned away for a second to indicate he was annoyed at the dwarf still bellowing at them from outside the wagon. "I got distracted. Gee, I can see the whole galaxy up your nose." "Never mind that," Fizban snapped. "So you confirmed this Strahd fellow has likely absconded with Tanis and Laranna?" "Maybe. I hope Tanis and Laranna are okay. See, we caught up with Raistlin, but we hid. We had to anyway. Strahd came riding up on a nightmare, and him and Raistlin had some words, and then Strahd told Raistlin to go look in the village, so we followed them." "This nasty dwarf," Astrid fumed. "I am certain he is undead. He does not smell or act like any dwarf I have ever seen. There is something off about him, like bad spoiled milk, we are certain. Sir Magus Magia has already throttled him once for impeding our investigations." Astrid nodded. "We have his yoke now. Magus Magia took it from him in our last encounter." "Don't try to open that," Fizban warned Astrid. "Matter of fact, little lady, you remember what you were told, and keep that holy sack closed round that thing. Don't touch it, don't look at it." "What happens if we open it?" Astrid asked dubiously. "Telling a Kender not to do something." "I'll tell you what will happen. All ice cream, cookies, cakes, and interesting stories will be replaced with annoying insects, Brussels sprouts and ditch mud. Plus you won't be able to use the privy anymore, and you'll grow to the size of a house and then explode." Fizban snapped. "And then everything gets horribly boring because after all, everything exploded." "Really?" Tars brightened. "All at once?" "No, cousin Tars." Astrid snapped. "I want my cupcakes. I want my ice cream. This will not do. I shall not fill up with craps until I explodes. Name this silly nasty undead Undead dwarf and his foul rantings. Astrid unbuckled her whip-pick from her sash and turned to open the door of the wagon before Tars stopped her. Fizban said we've got to bring Azrael's yoke with us to get back into Strahd's castle. Wait, Astrid. Here, take the blue candle with you. Tasslehoff handed her the lamp with the blue candle tucked inside it. It had come in handy so far since Raistlin had given it to them at the tavern. DM's note *, the blue candle is an artifact that resembles a blue candle and gives off a blue light with no heat. You can't set anything in the prime material on fire with it. It lights with a command word and extinguishes by blowing on it if the user wills it. It will stay lit no matter what unless extreme circumstances interrupt the flame, if something falls on it. The blue light itself allows one to travel in the dark and see, but not be seen by anyone not traveling with the candle holder. A person with a torch could still see them. However, traveling in the dark, undead cannot see or enter the radius of the candlelight. Doing so causes 1d8 damage to the undead, but also alerts them to something of your presence if they get too close. Most undead will seek to overwhelm the candle holder on both sides if this happens. The DM rolls the appropriate damage for the first round, but if the monsters consecutively surround the character for more than 3 rounds, the blue candle fails. It can be relit with a command word on the next round provided the character holding it hasn't taken more than 4 points of melee damage in a round. The command word has to be audible, and the person cannot be held or restrained even if they're holding the candle. Once the candle lights again, the DM calculates the effect again. It can hold undead at bay for at least 3 rounds before failing. It does not work on powerful undead like Lich, or vampires like Strahd. It does however work on lower level minions per the DM's discretion. Stupid fart gobble dwarf outside saying nasty uncouth things at us. I shall smack his hiney for telling untruths. Foul stinking lying disgrace, he shall not utter his blasphemies at me. Astrid stayed crouched at the door. Their sanctuary was liable to become very unsafe at any time now. Astrid still fidgeted nervously as she was still slightly agitated even after drinking some of the glowing blue, warm tea that Magda had brewed for them when they arrived. I smite him with his own axe. I couldn't turn loose of it, and Magus Magia had to unstick me. He is still out there yelling nasty things at Magda. I must go help her cousin Tars. Astrid crept over to the small rungs leading to the roof hatch and quickly climbed out, letting the hatch door shut with a louder snap. Tars had no time to argue, but figured it was rude to leave Fizban staring at him through the globe and not talk to him. Calls in and out of Barovia or the realms of dread are expensive. Astrid's muffled taunts and insults toward Azrael the Dwarf outside could be heard as she stood on top of the roof yelling down at him from above. Azrael hadn't noticed Astrid come out of the top of the Vistani wagon and sneered in aggravation when the Kender maid lobbed a stone at him with Tasslehoff's hoopak. He'd already snapped hers in half at the tavern. She resumed throwing heavily accented taunts at him, buying time for Tars. You little Kender bitch. Get your ass down here, I see you up there. Azrael fumed and then exploded at Magda. You think this is a game you're gonna win with us? We're gonna burn your caravan down again, and every creature who prefers a warm meal should get it. The vampire Kender surrounding the caravan started hissing and slathering. Azrael looked toward the Sithicus elf and the child off to the side. So be it, you force my hand. Azrael sneered evilly as the vampire Kender started coming toward the caravan, climbing out of the weeds and trees surrounding the camp. These Kender were horrible mockeries of what they had been in past lives, and now Astrid and Tasslehoff were about to be set upon by these vicious little monsters. You're a slime, Azrael. Magda shuddered, knowing full well what was coming, and there wasn't anything she could do to stop it. The snarling grew louder as Magda backed toward the caravan steps, although she herself wasn't the immediate target. She knew what was coming. The Sithicus elf drew their sword and began flailing at once, the overwhelming horde of vampire Kender quickly surrounding them and the child. Astrid witnessed the first strike and then watched in horror as the child vanished into a puff of black oily smoke, leaving the Sithicus elf protecting nothing but a pile of rags. It had been an illusion the whole time. Maybe the Sithicus elf was an illusion themselves, but she looked real enough with her guts and face being eaten by 12 vampiric Kender who literally pulled her apart like a pork chop. Astrid dubiously frowned in disgust and turned away more angry and annoyed than horrified. She hefted the improvised bowler with the pieces of powdered shimmerweed dust and, careful not to hit herself with it, took aim at the nearest Kender vampire trying to climb onto the caravan. The bowler just by chance caught the creature in the face, and with a spectacular ag and flash of light the Kender vampire exploded in a spectacular array of sparks. The surrounding Kender vampires were caught in the explosion, laughing at their unfortunate companion's fate, but also highly amused and at the same time furious because Astrid took out 4 with one shot. The remainder attempted to climb back onto the caravan, hissing in frustration as their limbs caught fire when they touched the wagon. Astrid dove back into the hatch before they could react to her attacks. You must understand that even under extreme circumstances, Kender, like autistic people, have an emotional detachment when under fire, which makes them brave but somewhat introspective at what could be an inappropriate time. The ability to have time stop and think when under stress, the same zone that happens to athletes and soldiers, Kender have it too, albeit it's not always with a rational reason or any significant usefulness to the Kender other than avoid danger through sheer ignorance and luck of the die roll to explain as to why it works. Despite the situation outside, Tars found it imperative to at least tell Fizban the story of how Raistlin brought an entire burning building down on Azrael earlier. It didn't stop him, but it was interesting to see, and Tars always knew Fizban liked to hear a good tale about a bully getting their comeuppance. He'd missed Verminaird getting slain by Tanis and Stim. So seeing a tough lycanthrope like Azrael take on Raistlin and get his ass handed to him, what a sight to behold. It was just like the old days, except Raistlin was a whole lot more mean and powerful now. Good thing he seemed to despise the same people they did. Raistlin hated bullies, and after Azrael broke Astrid's hoopak to be mean and make her cry when she let him seethe it, well, it was no hair off his top knot if the nasty dwarf got made to eat a big slice of the humble pie. You should have seen it, Fizban, Tars exclaimed. I know Raistlin is a black robe wizard now, but he sure handled that dwarf quite well. He brought the house down, so to speak. But he's back up and he's outside now, and he's not too happy at us. Azrael, the dwarf I mean, I'm not sure how Raistlin feels about me. It's been a really long time since we traveled together with Carmon all those years ago. He's not that sickly kid I knew in Solace, but he really put the screws to this bullying dwarf Azrael. You should have seen him, Fizban. It makes up for the time I watched all those bullies mess with Raistlin. He wouldn't let us take up for him and would get really mad and angry if we tried to help him, but this time I think he handled himself quite well. Tell his brother Carmon. That Raistlin fellow is bad news. Don't expect him to help you out any more than he has to. That's not really his purpose at this point. You make sure Astrid goes along with Tanis and Laurana when you find them and bring back that phylactery too. I'm pretty sure those undead will be none the wiser as long as you keep that phylactery with you. See, they sense what it is, but they don't exactly know what it is. You use that with the blue candle there, and that should get you past the fogs and the front gate, unless there is a back gate to that place. No matter, find Tanis and Laurana, and then use the portal key, and you make it your business to skedaddle as fast your little Kender legs will carry you through that portal, boy. Stay back, you fart gobble. Don't you touch them. No. No, I say. I tell you no. Damn you. Tars. Oh, you've done it now. I will destroy your foul minions and plant your axe in the crack of your ass again. Act. Damn you, Azrael. You will not get away with this, you foul piece of excrement. DM's note Astrid is still slightly foul-mouthed from picking up Azrael's cursed axe once before, so the agitated side effects are still lingering. At that instant the conversation was interrupted. The Kender maiden's shouting became more insistent, and then Tasslehoff heard Astrid scream in anger. Kender do not scream like that unless they are really mad. The hatch door suddenly flew open and Astrid came back down squealing and so angry she almost fell through the hatch. Tars turned toward the door in surprise to see Magda come barreling back into the wagon. Hi Magda, what's going on now? The answer to his question was a sharp blood-curdling scream from outside. The wagon shook and the sounds of the vampire Kender surrounding the wagon, scraping and clawing. Cousin Tars. Astrid glared at him, her eyes wide with concern and maybe fear. These Kenders are not our friends. I don't know who they are, but I just watched them kill that Sithicus elf and that child. Astrid blinked and wiped her eyes, obviously trying not to cry. You have to admit seeing something in seconds like that would horrify a human being. Astrid is a Kender, so it's taking even her a second or two to process what is happening. The DM should take note of this as he's running his adventure. Extremely horrific things are happening to people within the realm of dread. Kender are only slightly affected by this, but the implication should still be, they are certainly the odd ducks in this situation, but they will prevail for they are Kender after all. They cannot enter my caravan. Magda looked at Tars. This caravan, however, cannot withstand being burned. I can move anywhere I wish, but I compel you to make your decision quickly as he will find us again eventually. It's only a matter of time before the same fate Soth unleashed on others catches up to me. No, they won't, Aunt Magda, stop it. But I agree. Wait a minute, I just noticed, Magda. How do you travel around in this thing and get it to move with no horses? I mean, I won't feel that rude for taking off on Azrael so sudden. He proved he's not so fun to be around. To be brutally honest, he's not even like Flint in a gruff, endearing way. Azrael is like a bad fart, just like Grom and Asterisk. He lingers and stinks up the place with his horrible attitude, and quite frankly he's rude, and he's even more uglier looking now that we know he's undead like Soth. Of course we asked him about that and he got really rude. Tars shook his head. Ticklemop, she's not much of a Kender. She don't act like a Kender anymore, probably from being stuck around him. Oh dear, I can't imagine me and Flint trying to make our way in this place being undead and all. Tars sighed. Ticklemop has got to be seriously lonely by now. We still need to find a way to hopefully bring her back with us. I mean, she helped us find you, Magda. We can't just leave her behind, can we? The elf from Sithicus lives here, but Ticklemop kept talking about Balanesti. Hilo has not been called Balanesti since the days before the cataclysm. I tell you, the world she knew, it is not ours. Fizban sadly wiped away a tear. Ticklemop was my fault. I still fear Ticklemop will not be reasoned with. She just ate the Sithicus elf and Astrid started to cry. To destroy the undead is to heal them. I cannot watch her suffer any longer. We must catch her with the holy sack tied with reins, or we must destroy her ourselves. No, I cannot hurt this Kenderkin. However, I cannot bear to. Astrid started weeping. She is gone, dear Astrid, Fizban said sullenly. You will not save her. You can try to catch her with holy sack tied with reins and drag her back through the portal, and maybe then I could do something, but that poor creature's only salvation at this point is to end her torment with her own hoopak. If you can acquire her own hoopak and strike her with it, she will be destroyed. You'll free her soul from the shell. After that, use the phylactery and bring her back. It's all we can do for her. Fizban turned away for a moment. Oh, by the way, that pipe you found. This pipe? Tars asked sheepishly. I am so sorry, Fizban, I mean to give it you before we left Foganvan. Uncle Trapspringer said it was a halfling's pipe and you'd know what it was. I wasn't going to sell it or give it away to anyone, Fizban. Honestly, I don't even smoke. Tars shrugged. I saw the Kyushu use a prayer pipe in their lodges once, but I don't know any Kyushu prayers, Fizban. What if I do it wrong and make one of their gods angry? Their gods, Fizban chuckled. I'm sure they will understand. Chislev is probably none too happy you dragged one of her acolytes off on a crazy adventure, but when the situation presents itself to make good on the promise that we will protect Krynn, even non-believers need to be shown a little faith. Never hurt anyone. That pipe is only for wizards, and never mind what it does, just like the pipe, once you find a way into Strahd's castle, let the magic do the rest. I'll be able to find you easier once you do that. Once you step away from this crystal ball, I can't see or help you in there until you light that thing. Just don't inhale the smoke. You remember seeing the Kyushu where they passed that big prayer pipe round and used it to keep the herbs and grasses lit as they passed the smoke around them? Same thing. You don't have to remember the Kyushu prayers though, all sentiments goes to the same place anyway, as they only know of their gods as to what they were taught. Just light the beacon and I'll see it for sure. We must not fear Cousin Tars. These fiends, they do many things to impede us. It is my duty for all Kenderkin to see Ticklemop and her light brought home. She is trapped within this foul realm, and we promised Mama Vorlo Ticklemop Leafdew will return home to Krynn someday. If only I had the power to wish you home from here. Magda said wistfully. As it stands, I do not, but I present the easiest way to get you home. Once again, I shall show you the power of the Vistani. You remember seeing Strahd von Zarovich's castle? Sure, it's all impressive and whatnot, but seriously, that's a long climb up that pass in Barovia. I already looked at the map. Tars shrugged. It's not like it's a big secret. Everybody in Barovia knows him apparently. Strahd's castle, you will not reach it unless he allows it to be so, or by 7 magical means, much like your Wayreth forest of Krynn, it moves. Magda said. Maps will do you little good in this realm. That's not how this place works. Of course we need map. Even without the map, we must be rid of screaming undead dwarf. Astrid huffed. Astrid peeked out the window of the caravan to see Azrael still screaming threats. His threats and screams intensified as the wagon outside started to vanish. The vampire Kender started squealing in outrage as they watched the remains of the Sithicus elf literally fade out of existence. To clue the reader in, the Sithicus elf and victims are a story element meant to instill horror for normal NPCs. Strahd would have done this so many times they would have failed their horror checks. The elf is a shade, it's not real. Damn ye! No! Ye bastard, where you think you're going, Magda? Come back here. That little shite is mine. How you think you can take off to the castle? I'll find you. You little shites. Come back here. Astrid waved at him mockingly as the Vistani wagon blinked out. This caravan travels by teleporting. Just like Fizban and Justarius and Dalamar do. We don't even need a map. No, we don't. Magda irritably folded her arms as she sighed, and the wagon gave a sudden lurch, as Rail's cursing and the growling of the vampire Kender slowly started to fade into the distance. Tars heard very heavy footfalls as well as the sound of an axe slamming into side of the wagon, followed by more cursing, a flash of light, a loud boom, a few more flashes, another loud boom. The wagon shook, and then outside was still. Tars thought he heard the dwarf still cursing at them full speed and swinging his axe as the Vistani wagon disappeared, leaving an empty fire pit, and the dwarf screaming in rage as he madly kicked and hurled the vampire Kenders out of his way as they mocked and insulted him. I'll find you, barefoot, you little bastard. You won't get away from me. I'm coming for you, and when I catch you I'm taking out your yoke. Tars winced as he could swear the dwarf was still using telepathy. You're part of the living, running around in the land of the undead. You won't stay hidden for long here. They can smell you. Fizban warned. Which is why you need to find your way home, and I intend to see you do just that. Fizban continued. That dwarf can't follow you out of here. He's been here too long and he knows it. He knows if you cross out of here with his yoke, he ceases to be a well, at least as he knew himself. It's better we separate him from this life of undeath if possible. He will eventually catch up, but it's a considerable walk from Sithicus border to Barovia by conventional means. He may be upon you in a matter of hours, but I compel you to hurry, as Fizban said. I cannot dare take you anywhere near Strahd's castle, but the village of Barovia close by you may reach to consider your next move, and take these asterisk. Magda hands the PCs a few little wrapped bundles about the size of a fist. Upon closer inspection they are pieces of cloth designed to burst open when they are thrown with a hoopak. These conventional little items are colloquially known as a Kender pouch missiles. Skilled Kender can fit these with any manner of powders, contact explosive, or plant spore. The skill in itself is a modified hoopak. Projectiles, how well they work depends on the skill of the Kender making it. In this case Magda used the conventional dandelion-looking shimmerweed, carefully acquiring the reactive components of the plant, more complicated than it sounds because shimmerweed when touched by bright reactive light either explodes or causes confusion. The monstrous compendium for Dragonlance also mentions to grind the petals of the flower into a fine sand to be used in the construction of palantir and crystal ball type artifacts. This is obviously a dangerous volatile substance, so the writer has decided to use something in the Dragonlance world on undead akin to C4 plastique. Nobody except special NPCs could ever manufacture specific types of Wotc ammo like this. It's a nice idea, but the author still isn't sure it's feasible, but in AD&D who knows? These shimmerweed bags launched from a Wotc are designed to break open on impact, releasing their contents. Wotc use varies among Kender. Some use the Wotc like a giant slingshot. If they have something to fire the projectile, other times they will catapult the projectile like a sort of atlatl throwing weapon. An entire paper on Kender Wotcs and their functionality should be written, as well as styles of Wotc. Just like the Jedi and their lightsabers, Kenders have styles and forms they use with their Wotcs. You've been listening to KRYNN Kenderkin Radio, broadcasting from Hilo Citadel to the muddy banks of Barlefor Bay. Eliho. Hilo Kender say LA-ho instead of hello.
Absolutely wonderful. Guys, it's going good. Take you a little bit of a break. Stretch your legs, get you something to drink. And we'll be right back here in a few moments. Let me go ahead and... all right, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. Who knows? All right, guys, we're back. As you can see there in the camera, I have here, this is the thing that I had printed out for shimmerweed. Okay, it has the consistency of a dandelion, but they say this shit's really dangerous because if any light hits it, it causes like what's called what the thing of a confusion spell. Now it's a very fragile plant. If you step on it, it just fucking utterly destroys it. But if you happen to be near it and it's like a moonlit night and it hits your damn face and you're near it, it will cause a confusion spell because it just completely dazzles everybody. Now, they can take that shit and they can the plant itself. I think the roots they said and the crystal they can powder it up, and they even use it in palantirs and crystal balls. So think about that for a second because he's using it on a. They're using a Vistani crystal ball to talk to Fizbin. So there you go. Um, but anyways, this stuff enough. It was in Black Rose's bloom. It was noticeable in that grove. Now, Magda was in that. You'll actually have to read through that module. When Black Roses Bloom, this is connected to that. Okay, this thing is actually a sequel to that. Okay, if you want to get real technical about it. Okay. Anyways, yeah, it looks a little bit like a dandelion. It's just crystalline. and they can take it and grind it up. Now, I did some stuff about the hoop hack and shit like that, little odds and ends like that. All right, guys, how long we been rolling? About 40 minutes. Okay, we've been doing good. All right, I'm going to roll this over to some Shadow Sorcerer because I need to sit down for a minute and catch my breath here, and at least hydrate, little odds and ends like that. I've been going full tilt buggy all fucking day, and I've been so worried about the stream. I'm just sitting here kind of with my ass tight as a 10-penny nail because I'm worried about all this stuff. I worry too damn much. That's what it is. Okay, guys, give me just a second. What do I need to look up here? Hold on just a second here, guys. Let's see. We're gonna close that off, and I'm gonna open this up here just a second. What do I gotta do? Oh no, yeah, I do. I gotta open up fucking GOG again. Damn it. I knew it. Yeah, hold on just a second here, guys, because this thing's going to squall like shit when I do this. All right, hold on just a second here, guys. God, I hate it when it does this shit. All right, give me just a second, guys. Hold on just a second here, guys. Let me fix this. This thing is running awful. I don't know what the hell I did to it. Alright, just give me just a second. Sometimes I just got to fix something with the camera. Or it might be my mic. I don't know. But I'll figure it out. Hold on just a second. We'll get it rolling. I hate fucking running GOG with it. I ought to run DOSBox. I don't remember if I loaded Shadow Sorcerer on a DOSBox. I'm about tempted to. Because then it wouldn't lag. change, I think I need to change the damn... This stupid thing. Okay. I probably screwed up and put it in 1080 or something. Let me see. Let me try this again here, guys. If it doesn't work with this, I'll see if I can't run DOSBox. See what the hell happens with that. I don't know what else to do. Let me try this again. Okay. Damn this fucking thing. I hate it when it does this to me. Might have been because I switched it over and it was just crackling. Let me try to switch it over properly now. That might have been what it was. Alright. Let me get in the groove here, guys. Hold on just a second. Bear with me. You know me. At least I got the audio stream out well. Thank you. Fucking took forever. I was about to have a nervous damn breakdown on that. It was a bunch of bullshit, y'all. I swear to God. You make me angry. I like you never got that damn thing to behave. Yep. I am Magda, touch me not. I am Magda, touch me not. Guess I should have picked that up. Let's pick that up. Goes the pouch. I'm not sure what you're supposed to use it for, but I guess you're supposed to carry it. Fireballs portals can actually destroy some roadblocks and shit. Come to find out, there's certain places where the environment's destructible. Imagine that. Oh shit. Oh, watch this. If I can aim this motherfucker. Oh boy. I wasn't on point. I didn't act fast enough, but see, you gotta watch it with the damn fireball, buddy, because it will put your ass out. It'll kill your whole damn party. Luckily, nobody was killed. He is Magi. Touch him not. Blast your ass and knock out the snot. Somebody wanted to make a comedic DragonLance thing? Yeah, sure. Beach in the mountain. Supposedly you're supposed to only approach this at a certain time of the day. I don't remember if it was at dusk or not, but alright, let's go ahead and Dance just walks right into the fucking wall. I'll let her use a bow. Have to ask to it because they'll talk shit to him and then get you killed. That's funny though. It's absolutely flipping hilarious, I'm telling you. Alright. Hold on just a second here, guys. I'm on. There, do. Tuck it right here. And then I guess you can see Lorana. So we're good. We're good. Alright. Need something to drink. Oh, that's something. Alright. Ask for food. Now, I didn't know, because he'll sit here and do that forever, but you got to actually hit the mouse button to get this thing to work, and you got to kind of click it hard too sometimes. Journal entry 15. Yeah, you had to look for my fucking journal. Damn it. Those journal pages are so damn small. Okay. Yeah, Steam, they probably updated it and gave it some quality of life adjustments. Steam always gets good shit like that, but by God, GOG don't do nothing like that. It's supposed to be DRM. Steam, then they had to uninstall it because none of my games would work. It wouldn't play Chrono Trigger, wouldn't play nothing. I don't know if it's because of my card or what. Kind of sucks. Get it, you goob hole. Stand right with your thumb up, you bats. And I don't know what to pick up and what not to pick up, really. See, rocks like this are supposed to be destructible when you throw a fireball at them, supposedly. Taking care of the bees. Being mean to the bees, but they're not an ergoth. Stop talking! You ruined my bees. Your bees? My bees, I'm trying to do it. Stop talking. Oh, your buzz. Yes, my buzz. Shit. And Raistlin didn't even rest. So, yeah, we're going to have to go back out and rest here in a little bit. He ain't got shit. I still ain't figured out what the hell those things do. I need to read the manual again. out what the fuck it is. I don't know if it's like a spell ammo or what. Who the fuck knows? Maybe it's food for the refugees. Alright, now, nonetheless, you're going to have to go outside here with the party because Raistlin's got to rest. I must rest. Oh. Shit. Need to memorize. Oh boy. Okay. So I was thinking about traveling at night when the refugees have stopped and all this other shit to explore caves and keep them out of the way. I mean, this is not an easy game to do. I don't know. I gotta study it a little bit more. Deeper friggin' strategy than you're used to. And game parameters that weren't always clear, but. Oh, shit. Okay, decent. Caravan, buddy. Yeah, I've got Retromania Wrestling. They're supposed to be putting the Rock and Roll Express. That was with Jim Cornette. And for the life of me, I can't remember off the top of my head who that is, and I should because I watch him all the time. Corny Jim. It's kind of a bad way to do the high, but oh shit, Tannis got burnt. Now this means there's food here and the refugees will get to it. Not sure how that goes, but usually the refugees come to it and then they find it there. And I don't know. The dwarf said that they would get the refugees out. They would get the food out of the caves for them. So I don't know on that end anyway. The only thing I hate is having to exit the fucking temple like that. This is so fucking tedious because sometimes they don't want to walk where they want to go, where you want them to go. So it can be a bit of pain in the butt. Isometric shit. Well, I understand it. I mean, hell, they probably playing this game when they did the Shadowrun thing. Really, it's about the same damn thing. Really, you just got a little sprite character. They could have put this on Super Nintendo. They still could. They could port something like this over. Very easy. Oh, that would be so cool. Port those Dragonlance games over to Super Nintendo. That would be awesome. I would jump for that. That would be cool. indiscriminately just because it's Dragonlance. A lot of it's my 2e stuff. I mean, the most recent thing I bought are the new books. That's it. Dragons of Destiny, and that's it. You know, I haven't really bought anything recent of Dragonlance. Not in a long time. Alright, what the hell am I looking at? Oh. Y'all grow some balls and fight. It's fucking awful. Just blasted the fucking tree and what? Shit, Tannis, come on, dude. Oh, you gotta be shitting. This is about ridiculous. Just attack the son of a bitch for fuck's sake. Come on, guys. Attack. Use your pathing and scripting. I don't give a flying fuck. Oh, for heaven's sake. This is just ridiculous. Please walk over and hit that asshole now. Jesus. All that for a fucking bunch of jelly. Alright, we did that quest. There we go. At least we got through one quest, okay? Ow, my arms hurt. Okay. Udos Giltanas. Yeah, Gilthanas would have an Urgothian accent. Lorana does or not. I guess she does. Snow Plains. When I say up here's where you meet Fizman somewhere, but I didn't rest. God damn it to hell. What in the fuck am I doing? Got him. We're avoiding the dragons anyway. Oh, it's after dark. Oh, darn it. You can't move. There, we got him. Kender lost his pouch, but we got him. Once you're with refugees, you can redo your party again. Well, fucking shit. Okay, what I gotta do here to... We're in trouble. Oh shit. Sometimes they just don't hear you. They'll go after Taz. Kill this mofo. Now! Fuck are you doing? We're supposed to burn him, I think. They need to move the fuck out of the way or they're gonna die. Piss on it. Guess what? Y'all are fucked. Damn, Raistlin, you're just fucking heartless, dude. I have no clue what's in this chest. This is all bullshit. We got screwed on that one. skipping off into the cave. Do. Kender go skipping off into the cave. You know he won't behave. He don't give a shit. Kender go skipping off into the cave. What the hell am I doing? Damn it. Because I can't carry it. Because I can't carry it anymore. Fuck. Because I can't carry anything. Damn it. Shit. And I don't know how to open it. I have to read the manual again. I opened it the other day, but I don't think I got a key for it or something. I don't fucking know. Well, at least pick it up. I don't fucking know. Damn it. I'll have to read the manual again. Oh boy, oh boy. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break. And I might open up some Dragon Magazine. I might do something. I don't know. I played this for a little bit. Oh boy. I'm tired. I'm glad that it's working. Thinking of what else I can pull up. Thought about pulling up. Guess what? This is, and here in just a little bit, I'll see if I can't pull that up for you, if I can get it to roll. I'll have to run it in DOSBox, but yeah, I can do it. Today is the day that the 1989 Batman movie premiered in the theaters. So if you want fucking hitting that motherfucker here in a minute, dumbass. So that's what I'm talking about. Just thumb up their ass. Lizard men. Elistan held his own. Oh, he's so screwed. Pissed off, he's kind of fucking pretty damn resilient. Oddly enough. Elistan's pulling it through, boys. See, most smart players would go and regroup, but I'm going to play this fucker to the end here. Beat it up. Beat it up. Golden General, unpark your ass. Stern Buddy backed it up, baby. They did. Damn. Somebody sent me a notice I was supposed to go pick something up at the post office. I'll check on it as soon as I get a chance to. Oh boy. Alrighty, what are we doing here? Oh shit. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, guys. For just a second anyway. I gotta take me a little bit of a break. Oh boy. Yeah, we've been going for about an hour and 40 minutes, so yeah, whatever. We'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and end it out. Ain't no big deal. Don't need to be this damn long. Alright, because we got the audio segments anyway. Alright, guys. We're doing good. Remember that Dragons of Eternity, it comes out August 6, 2024. Margaret Weiss is doing some book plates at Mysterious Galaxies. Go to her Twitter or website. You'll see it. Okay. I've done my part for that anyway. Alright, guys. I want to thank you all. Like I said, check out my other videos and subscribe if you like them. These ones I've been putting out on Twitch. I'm going to probably put the stuff out on... I always port the stuff over to YouTube. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in. I realize that I don't always have my shit together all the time. But when I do, it's absolutely wonderful. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves. And I do thank you all for tuning in. But anyway... Well, I'll get my damn camera to focus here. It's wanting to go to the right instead of the left. Damn it, stop. That's the damn... It's the cord on it. Alright, guys, but anyway... This is Engine Joe. I'll hold it up. This is what we'll roll it out on. You all be good, and we'll holler at you a little bit later. Okay? Alright, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. I need a break.